Hey guys, I'm Brianna Mathay and I'm a freshman at Clemson University, and I'm here to talk about my new student dialogue I participated in earlier today. I did it on mental health and college awareness and stigma, and basically it was about emotional stress that can lead a college student to suicide attempts and just like eternal depression throughout their 4 years in college. Well, getting to know each other within this circle today was an icebreaker, and it made it easier to talk about the topic at hand. And we were able to get to know each other without passing judgments amongst one another because we were all pretty much new faces today. No one was a veteran here at school. We all were freshmen, so to speak, or we had freshman hours, so we all were pretty much new to this. We were able to identify each other and ourselves before we were able to identify the topic at hand, like by our race and ethnicity, our social class, who we are as a person. We got a better understanding of it before we actually did the project. After we did the icebreakers, we played a word game, and one of the facilitators, she would call out a word, and we would write down the first word that comes to mind when she called it out. And a few of the words she called out were bipolar disorder, suicide, depression, and anxiety. And basically for each topic, the words that came to mind were always negative connotations. And throughout the dialogue, the facilitator, she made it apparent that when we think about suicide or we think about depression, we mainly related to negative things in life. When we talked about depression, the first word that came to mind was sad, rain, dark, anything gray. When we thought about anxiety, we thought about people in insane asylums. We thought they were crazy. When we said things about suicide, you just thought about weapons that can harm yourself, drugs, dangerous things. And she just made it a point to let us know that these are the stereotypes we put people in when we talk about these types of things. Well, we watched the video, and in the video, the man told a story of a guy who jumped off a Manhattan Bridge and tried to kill himself, but he failed in the attempt because someone heard his cry and they called the cops and saved him. And the man telling the story, it actually happened to him. That was him. And he was reaching out to us, speaking, breaking the silence because he lost a teacher and the friend to suicide, and he didn't want that to happen anymore. The facilitator we had for New Student Dialogue, she was a student at Clemson, and she wanted to end her life because she was going through such a hard time here. And she wanted to share her story with us because she wanted us to know that it was okay to sit here and reach out to others and talk to others when we needed it most. Whenever we talked about suicide as a whole, we reflected on it, and a lot of us came up with the answer that we should watch the way we say things. We should watch the way we say that someone gets oversensitive about this because there might always be a reason. We should watch it when we say, you're crazy, you panic too much, you worry too much, because there's always a reason behind what someone does. And you never know what they're going through, what's going through their mind, or how hard of a time they're having. And what I realized about myself, I realized that I complain a lot, or I might take for granted the little things in life that I have, but I don't sit there and realize when I do complain about things that really don't matter that someone always has it worse. And I think that's what most teenagers our age don't realize. Someone always has it worse. So when you really do have it good, you need to sit back and think about your life and think about how you can better someone else's life or become a mentor to them and help them when they need to reach out to you if you're strong enough to do so. There were times in the dialogue today where I was a little touched because I've never had the thought of committing suicide. I've known a couple of people who have committed suicide. I've known people who've thought about it. And I guess people who don't think about the suicide attempts or whatever, we don't think about how serious of a problem it is. But amongst teenagers, that is the #1 cause of death before car accidents. And that's a really, really, really big statistic. And one thing I did learn today was 9 out of 10 people who attempt to commit suicide, they fail at it. But the next time they attempt it, 37 more times likely to succeed with the next attempt. And so suicide is really, really, really a dangerous thing. It's common. It's not anything we can run from or hide from, but it's something we can help prevent. And I think that when we see kids that we see that are less fortunate than us, or they're not the same social class, the same race or anything, we should never judge, because you never know what's going on with them. You never know how it affects them. And being of the minority here at Clemson, it was a little tough at first, but I feel like we're such a close family here and everything. It doesn't make me want to drive myself to suicide that I'm not in the majority. And so I think you should just embrace everyone for who they are. Don't pass judgment, because you never know how it affects them. There are students here who are in a minority that their race affects them because they are in a minority. But I mean, a person like me could be a mentor to another person here that needs my help. There's always someone there who does care about you. There's always someone there you can talk to if you are even having thoughts about committing suicide, or you're having emotional stress throughout college. I mean, there's a lot that goes on, but it's not enough that you can't handle. You can always get through it. But, well, my time's running out, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you later. Bye.